First of all, I'm Sam Gillespie. I'm the Grievance Director for UFCW Local 555. I'm also on the Executive Board of the Northwest Oregon Labor Council, and I am a 16-year board member of the North Clackamas School Board. So I put a lot of time on boards, and I don't get paid either. So I do sincerely appreciate all of your efforts that you put forward. Now, I bargained when I worked for Oregon AFSCME Council 75 under the State Collective Bargaining Act with a short time of that being in Wisconsin for 25 years. I've been to interest arbitration. When I first went to work for AFSCME, it was TriMet and the Transit Union. Their administrative remedy was strike. So all of you a few years ago went down the state of Oregon and you changed the collective bargaining law. And that collective bargaining law went to interest arbitration as administrative remedy. Now, what happened is illegal, in my opinion, and I think ultimately the Employment Relations Board will rule the same way, because through your executive director, or your Mr. McFarland, you implemented two mandatory subjects of collective bargaining: wages and health care costs that you pushed off to the employees. That's something that you would be able to legally do in an interest arbitration. So what you've done, in my opinion, is tantamount to saying to the union, why don't you go call a wildcat strike? Because that's what's analogous with that. Now, you have a lot of union members that reside throughout your jurisdiction. We have always tried to support TriMet. We supported your bus levy. Unfortunately, it didn't pass. Should we openly go out as labor leaders and members and tell organized labor in the Tri-County area not to support TriMet next time you take something public? Should we do that? That would probably be irresponsible. But if you continue to operate like that, then we're going to have no choice but to maybe consider that situation. Maybe the board of directors, how would you like, and I'm trying to be civil, but not, I'm going to be civil, but I may not be agreeable. So what I'm saying is, we don't want to put the TriMet Board of Directors and TriMet on the official unfair labor list and do not patronize list. It can be done at a proper time. So far the union has not asked us to consider that because they want this process to work. So I would encourage you to make the process work. Now, I'm not sure what rules of order you operate under, but I think, again, these unfair labor practices, I don't know how the Employment Relations Board can rule anything else against TriMet except because you implemented two major pieces of your offer without the bargaining those issues first and getting an agreement. You don't have that ability. I don't care what kind of legal counsel you get or whatever. I don't believe it's going to happen. Time will tell. So, I ask you, have you set any money aside in case you lose those unfair labor practices and you have to reimburse the employees and make them whole? That's going to be a big bundle of change. Now, also in interest arbitration, you have one of the things that you put forward is the ability to pay. Now, that gets down, and its last and final offer moves the parties to be able to try and get their best possible order within the confines of the ability to pay, and then that's what the arbiter rules on. Once that arbiter rules, that's it. So I implore you, and I appreciate what all of you said previously at the start of this meeting, that you want to go and you're listening. That we appreciate, because we weren't getting that impression before, so maybe it's the wrong impression, but I thank all of you for telling us you're going to get engaged, and we appreciate that. And I would hope that you would do that. So I would ask you to go back to the table, instruct Mr. McFarland and his negotiators to go back to the table and bargain in good faith. Ask the Employment Relations Board for an expedited hearing on those unfair labor practices, which will remove the roadblock to allow you to get to the process. So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you for your time.
A. Jones. A. Jones, I presume.
Sam, our Vice President, would like to speak briefly.
Okay. I really don't want to cede the whole meeting to the ATU. This is a lot of time, and I think everyone was here when we talked about this prior to the meeting, so I'm going to let you speak, and then I'm going to move on to people that have safety concerns, people that have concerns about the ADA, people that have other concerns that they want to bring before the agency, legitimate concerns that we need to hear. I've also gotten emails from people that don't want to come up to air their concerns because they don't, they're frankly intimidated and scared to be here. So we're going to move on after this presentation, and you have 3 minutes to make your point. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I really didn't have a presentation. I was going to answer some of the things that came up earlier. We have one cleaner in place for 500 buses. So that's figures that you need. As far as the arbitrations and grievances go, I was doing expedited arbitrations from 2006 and 7, and they stopped. We did about 36 of them or so at the time. And it worked out well and saved a lot of money. The problem is if you generate grievances sometimes by giving out catch-22s to the operators. If you get out of your seat, I'm going to punish you. If you don't get out of your seat, I'm going to punish you. Well, what's the message? Do I get out of my seat? Do I help somebody? Do I confront somebody? Am I going to get punished? What's going to happen to me? You can't do that. That's just not the way it's done. And as far as the safety concerns go, the issues on the train on Max are serious. People get separated all the time. The crowd of those, more crowds on the platforms, the more people get separated, the more children get separated. A lot of times, the less the operator can actually focus on with everything that's going around. The same thing with the buses. We know the Sandy Day issue, and by the way, that went before an appeal board, an accident review board, and they reviewed it. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened, but there has to be better training. To put a signal in on the bus that says, I'm turning right, but those bus signals, the right and turn left signals, are on the floor. They're operated by the operator's foot. The operator automatically puts on the right turn signal when they're pulling into the bus stop. But what are people going to hear? I'm turning right, It's not going to say I'm pulling into the bus stop. And if they put on the left signal, it's going to say I'm turning left. I mean, there has to be a little bit more thought going into it. You know, you have to bring an operator, a mechanic, and some passengers with you when you do these things. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Chair, I'd like to thank you for your opportunity to speak. And I would like to just have a final word. You have never seen us in front of this board in the manner that we have been in until TriMet illegally implemented. We are here to assist, and we have through closed doors for many years, and we would like to get back to that area. And if there's anybody that has any perception that we're here to intimidate anybody, it's not. We're here to put pressure on TriMet to stop their illegal action, and we will continue to be back. However, we have the greatest opportunity to settle this and to allow your board meetings to continue to go on without the union's continued effort on it, and that is settle the contract. Thank you.